We've got the story of the hunter and the sage now. The hunter was out hunting in the forest, and he met a holy sage who awakened him. And the sage told him to give up his life as a hunter and seek to attain Nirvana. And we're caught up in a story within a story. Actually, it's within a complicated structure of stories within stories. This is the nature of our life. We carry on with this. It's not a process which is stopped by death. Death is just another hiccup, another transition from one story to another. It just goes on and on. But now and again we have the opportunity to wake up from it. We've arguably got more opportunities these days than we've ever had, although we've got more noise to crowd out these options that present themselves to us. So this hunter was unusually receptive. His intuition told him there was something here, that he should be hunting rather than shooting his arrows into animals. The hunter asked, "If that is so, O sage, tell me how one can overcome sorrow without engaging oneself in hard or soft practices." We've not had these terms hard or soft before, but the whole tone of the Yoga Vasistha is one which isn't supporting asceticism or any kind of extreme physical practices. And I suppose soft practices means the usual religious practices. If worshipping a god got you enlightened, then there'd be an awful lot of enlightened people around. So in Buddhist terms, he'd be asking for the middle way. The sage replied, "Abandon the bow and the arrows this very moment. Remain here, resorting to a life of silence, free from sorrow." Vasistha continued. The hunter did so without hesitation. In a matter of days he entered into the wisdom of the scriptures, just as a flower enters a man's body as its fragrance. So this hunter must have been ready. Part of him, a deep part of him, must have been waiting for this. So he just soaked up the wisdom of the scriptures. One day he asked the sage, "How is it, O sage, that dream which takes place within appears to be outside?" This can be understood in two ways, can't it? When we're dreaming, that dream is real, it's external. But also we've got this dream that's going on which consists of our notions, our feelings, and from this we construct the whole of reality. The sage replied, "This question arose in my mind too in the very beginning. In order to find an answer to this question, I practiced concentration. I sat in the lotus posture and remained as pure consciousness. I gathered all the rays of the mind, which were dissipated over 1,000 things, and focused them on my own heart. Along with the life force, I exhaled the mind outside the body. That prana entered into a living being which appeared in front of me. That being inhaled that prana and received it in his own heart." Well, this is something new. We've not heard of the life force being exhaled before. For some reason the words exhaled and inhaled are in quotes. It's possible that the sage was wanting to go beyond any life force. The life force we can understand by the movement of the attention. That's what creates our reality. And we don't know where this living being came from. Was it one that was created by the sage? Or was it just somebody that happened to be walking by? Or was it a figment of the sage's imagination? I think we have to assume it doesn't actually matter. I think the best assumption here is to understand this body as actually something within the sage, his inner body, or vital body if you like. Then I entered into the very heart of that being. Bound by my own intellect, I followed it into that being. He's dissociated from his own individuality, and now he's looking at it objectively. This is what he's seeing. I saw that the inside of that person was full of countless channels, as if they were all outside. It was also filled with various organs and viscera, like the liver, spleen, etc., just as a house is full of furniture. It was warm inside. The cool breeze that flowed into that body from outside kept it alive and conscious. The channels bore the essence of food. It was very dark inside, like hell. So I assume he's travelling around different parts of the body here. The flow of the life force along these channels gave ample indications of the physical disturbances that followed the irregular flow of the life force. In a channel which resembled the lotus stalk, there flowed a radiant and fiery force, making a distant noise of a wind flowing through a narrow tube. It was filled with all sorts of objects. It was bound together by the movement of air. It was pleasant in places and agitated in others. It appeared as if the celestial musicians were singing somewhere below the tongue area, and elsewhere it was as if there were fine music. So this is some kind of intuitive medicine, I suspect. I entered the heart of that being. In that heart I attained the principle of light. In it are the three worlds reflected. It is the light of the three worlds. It is the very essence of all things. The jiva is there in it. The jiva pervades the entire body. But this ojas, inner light, is its special seat. I've not heard this word ojas before, but it's a fundamental yogic term for our essential vitality. It is protected on all sides by the life force. So this would be the prana, I suppose. I entered it as water permeates an earthen pot. Remaining there, I saw the entire universe as if I were seeing it from my own ojas. So it seems that this sage is in touch with the center of vitality. When we look beyond our notions and direct our awareness to what's actually going on, what we get are sensations. These sensations we would normally think of as relating to the physical body. But if we look a little bit deeper, a little more subtly, then we become aware of an almost electrical energy going on, which we could describe as going on within our body. And the more you become aware of this, the more this can become the dominant sensation. So this is what the sage is focused on right now.